If it's easy to make a buck, it's tougher to make a difference. Tom Brokaw. Chapter 17. Volunteer for what you want. The highest reward for a person's work is not what they get for it, but what they become because of it. I heard someone say, volunteers are seldom paid, not because they are worthless, but because they are priceless. And may I say, the experience you gain from volunteering is also priceless. I have demonstrated most of my talents and skills while freely giving them away to others or organizations. In a study sponsored by Comcast Foundation, 83% of women who volunteer report they acquired, improved, or developed their leadership skills due to volunteer participation, while 78% saw improvement in communication skills. I first began speaking as an orientation trainer for a nonprofit. I could not have imagined that developing that skill would place me in front of thousands. But it began in front of a small group within a nonprofit organization. What was my pay for those services? 0. What was the value of discovering and honing one of my greatest skills? Priceless. My skills for writing, speaking, training, graphic design, organization, and leadership all were acquired and cultivated while volunteering at a nonprofit. Imagine what you could learn, what you could perfect while volunteering. I recommend you put volunteering in your arsenal to boost your resume, business plan, family plan, and life plan. The opportunities are countless. Begin to ask yourself who you want to be, what you need to learn, what type of people or environment would benefit from your desires. Then begin to list at least 10 organizations where you could serve to meet that need. I recommended a client of mine to volunteer at Girls Inc. and speak to a group of young girls at an annual conference. My client had no prior experience speaking, but felt comforted by the idea that she would be speaking to girls, and the assignment seemed to resonate with a passion she had for at-risk youth. The organization provided an orientation and gave specific topics and notes to the facilitators detailing what they would say. My client had a terrific and successful meeting. She was quite proud of herself and committed to serve on a regular basis. This one small act opened doors of opportunity for her and stretched her to add speaking to her arsenal of talent. If you need to sharpen your fundraising skills, volunteer that. If you want to learn more about home building, volunteer at Habitat for Humanity. If you want to get involved in television, volunteer at your local PBS station. Do your best to identify an organization which you believe in, or one which you'd even like to work for. I presently have a client who desires to develop a girls' summer camp, which will instill confidence, positive imagery, and higher self-esteem in the young girls who will attend. She recently volunteered at a summer camp for entrepreneurially minded youth. Although the camp goals are remarkably different, I wanted her to learn the importance of a sound curriculum and what it takes to maintain the interest of adolescent campers. She was quite excited and learned a great deal, which she'll incorporate into her own program. I imagine she'll become more enthusiastic in pondering her own project after learning from someone who is already doing well what she has yet to do. Getting a volunteer opportunity isn't as easy as you think. An organization isn't interested in sharing its intellectual capital with someone who is there merely to extract its creative resources. Solicit a volunteer opportunity the same as you would a job. Provide a resume and cover letter expressing your qualifications and your desire to serve. Be sure to learn something about the organization in advance and include a few details in your cover letter. They should be able to see your passion on paper. If your best-selling quality is your appearance, I recommend that you bring your resume and cover letter there in person. If you are best represented on paper, then allow your resume and cover letter to do on paper what you perhaps cannot do in person. Sell you. Make a list of skills you would like to gain from your volunteer experience. Be very specific. It's easy to find yourself in the midst of a needy organization and getting engrossed in their mission and forgetting your own. You want to serve the organization with commitment and excellence. However, Remember, this is volunteerism with a purpose of its own. Make certain that you are acquiring the skills that are going to benefit you. Again, if you want to learn something about fundraising, being the person who collects clothes from people's houses may not be the answer. Your volunteer service will help you do the following: beef up your resume with experience, provide you with a skill set you need to apply to a personal endeavor or project, connect you with people who may serve as mentors, business partners, or friends, fill in the gaps of unemployment, allow you to intern for what you really want, and discover if it is a good fit. So, analyze the opportunities and make sure you are volunteering for exactly what you need. You will undoubtedly learn other skills by virtue of being there, but minimally, make sure you are acquiring what you volunteered for. Once you've achieved this task, be willing to share the information with others. When someone shares something of value with you and you benefit from it, you have a moral obligation to share it with others.